If you're considering relocating to Cambodia, there's no better time than the present. The Kingdom of Cambodia is located in Southeast Asia, bordered by Thailand and Vietnam. Cambodia is a developing country with a growing economy. Cambodia offers an impressive and diverse environment, from the sprawling flat plains in the central region to the winding Mekong River, tropical rainforests, and mountainous regions, as well as the crown jewel of the Khmer Empire, Angkor Wat, an ancient city built in the 11th century by the Khmer Empire that brings millions of tourists to Cambodia each year and was recently voted one of the top 5 tourist destinations in the world. So whether you want to live in the bustling city of Phnom Penh or on the tropical islands of Coron, or if you even want to dwell among the temples of Siem Reap, Cambodia has something for everyone. But more importantly, Cambodia offers a great climate, a wonderful exchange rate, and most of all, the friendliest people in the world. Contact us today at Sincere Travel Services to schedule your consultation, and we'll help make your move to Cambodia as smooth and easy as possible.
Like the DR, Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak.
I know damn well I'm gonna let you talk about my fucking culture. First and foremost, they're intelligent in the Philippines, and they actually speak 2 languages, which is Tagalog and English. And last time I checked, majority of Filipinos are in the medical field. And exactly what those guys said, like Filipino women are brought up to be mothers, to be caring. You know, there's just a whole tradition of family morals and values that Filipinos have compared to Americans. And that's not just a Filipino thing. Like, I just feel that's like an Asian thing, even like a cultural thing, family values and morals. And things are just way different here in America. People are just focused on their career and their self goals compared to like having families and, you know, being in love.
What is cracking, everybody? What is going on? What is going on today? This is Ed with Ed Travels, coming at you once again to my airborne buddies, airborne all the way. Keep your feet and knees together. It is what day is it here? It is actually a Sunday night here in Cambodia. So maybe that's in the morning, afternoon, evening where you are. I know I'm looking a little dusty, crusty, but that's okay. I'm in my house. I just want to say hello to everybody. I want to send a shout out to Rice Patty Reasons, Rubber Band Man, Trey, Kevin. I was just thinking about you, bro. Thanks a lot, homie, with the shout out 29. Hey, brother, let me take a moment. Let me take a moment to let everybody know that's watching this. When Kevin is out there on the road, not only do I pray for him and his safety and his lady's safety, the man's out there working, grinding, making an honest dollar, but we have some of the most in-depth talks, conversations that Kevin and I have, and how much his counsel, his input, his advice, his thoughts mean to me. And I just want to let him know how much that means to me, brother. I really thank you for that. I really, really do. To my man, Pooh Man, Sunday morning for me. Yes, sir. Sunday morning. And thanks for coming in. And as we start off this Sunday morning, let's go ahead and go to the church of the Manosphere. Hey, brother, I really appreciate your counsel and your friendship. Can't wait till we meet face to face next month, bro. Lord willing. But I wanted to start off today with a little bit of church.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Praise the Lord. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go to the to the man book, man law 321. As you can see here, it says, "Thou shalt avoid the she heathen at all costs. There is nothing you can do to make her happy. Absolutely nothing." Praise the Lord. She lives in a mentality of constant misery. If there is no problem, she'll create one.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm just at Global Passport Crew, bro. Good to see you in the house. Yeah, that's where I got it from. I got it from Salty Balls because we have
Hallelujah,
to.
praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus.
We had to do it. Praise the Lord. I'm just having a little fun this morning, fellas. But I really wanted to start it off with this video because I want to set the tone. I want to set the tone for this.
Have kids.
Okay, so
And I want this fair use, all praise to Kevin Samuels, Godfather.
Going to
This is a woman talking about her views on men, on a man in her life. And I want you to listen to this craziness.
I want a man that's definitely going to be able to pay the bills, like take care of me, but I still want to be able to have the option to work and do like my career, have a career and still have kids.
okay, so you want it all.
Yeah.
Okay, how much money is a man going to need to make to be able to pay all the bills for a family of 4?
Probably well over 400K.
What percentage of men in this country make over $400,000?
Now, that's a valuable question. She said she's looking for a man that makes 400K. Hey, Tavares X, what's happening, homie? A man that makes over 400K that's going to allow her to have kids but still do her career. Again, now everything's about her. And then Kevin Samuels asked her, what percentage of man is that? And listen to her answer.
I would say maybe 2 to 4%. Probably not a lot.
1.
Okay.
Fair use.
1%. So let's go back to what you said. I feel men don't care about what you feel. We think, act, and do. Men hit the financial stride between 45 and 55. Are you prepared to marry a man that's 45 years old or older?
No.
Look at that look on her face. Look at that look on her face when she's hit with reality. Look at that look on her face.
Or older?
No.
So you're a delusional black woman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And that leads into what I'm saying today. So first of all the hyenas, Mulatto Vanguard in the building. The brother's always here. I truly appreciate you, bro. Mulatto Vanguard in the building. And I really thought about this before I came on live today, because me and Kevin were talking about this today, as a matter of fact. And that's why I named the live stream Wealth. Now, I went and looked up the word wealth. I guess this is the Oxford Dictionary. And I was not surprised, but I was a little disappointed. And it said here, if you guys can't see, an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Let me make that big. an abundance of value, possessions, and money. The state of being rich, material, I'll say that again, material prosperity, right? Which brings me, y'all work with me, to this video, right? Of my man Phil Scott, who I want you to watch the beginning
in
of
order to date them. So these modern women, they have a requirement for a lot of you men. They require a lot of you to make a lot of money in order to date them because they feel that they're worthy of this. But let's review it.
What does a man got to bring to the table to be with you?
His money.
Boy. And did you see how she looked?
Money. Money. Like,
you see what I mean? And I'll get back to that. But my point is, everybody click the like, subscribe. Let's make sure that like button goes up. But so in other words, in today's modern society, especially in the West, a man's value has been just broken down to how much money he makes. Exactly, Errol Palmer. Errol Palmer sit here and says, y'all got to work with the old man here. Errol, thank you for being on. But let me show this comment. 400K, like it's no big deal. And like Kevin Samuels told her, that's like 1%. That's 1% of the man you're going to find. 1%. So all of these women are looking for that 1%. You have to bring money in exchange. Exactly. And she offered used up peace leave. Absolutely. Andre Brooks, my man from Thailand. Thank you so much, sir. Joining me this evening. It's evening in Thailand. You're on my same time zone. Y'all gotta excuse me. But that's all a man is broken down to right now. If y'all hear some barking, that's my lab Jax. He is soaking wet, and I won't let him in the studio. So forgive me for that. But that's all a man is broken down to right now. Is money. You know, and again, I'm gonna keep going back to Kevin 3905. You know, I love you too. There's nothing you can do about it, brother. Amen. Nothing you can do about it. The thing that really gets me is at the end of the day, what's truly important? What's truly important? And this video right here, again, fair use. Let me go ahead and get all my little buttons and stuff together. You know, old men and you know how we are when it comes to this new technology. I saw this and it summed up so much. This summed up so much to me.
Shout out to the Passport Bros. I'm not a Passport Bro. I'm an American married man to an American woman, but I don't judge y'all on this. I understand it. For a very long time now, you have guys that have been ran over, passed by, not wanted, undervalued, unappreciated by women for whatever the multitude of reasons in. Don't make enough money, aren't manly enough. You know the rhetoric, right? So now women are complaining because these men have gone to other countries to find suitable women for them who really appreciate what these men bring to the table in these countries. I don't see why we should judge you for that. right? You're going to find happiness when you couldn't find happiness here. So this is what I will say. There's women in other countries that find value to what the American man brings to the table.
Amen.
Now, if you guys could have a passport cis movement, and I just want you to think about this. If you guys could have a passport cis movement where you could go to another country and find wealthy men who wanted your hot girl summers and, you know, wanted your independence and wanted to be married to a woman that you never said what you wanted her to do or how you wanted her to conduct herself or how you wanted her to carry herself, you guys would be leaving in droves. But guess what, guys? That shit don't exist. So for my guys that are going out there and finding happiness, bro, don't care about what nobody.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Don't care what these people say. Don't care what these people say. And I'm going to say it here first, and what I try to do on my channel. You're absolutely right, Andre. We're just walking ATMs to them. Let me tell you this. The only reason I bring this up is because I get constantly bombarded in my comments from women. Not just black women, but modern women that are telling me how dusty I am, how crusty I am, how much I'm not attractive to them. I got messed up teeth. I got a straggly beard. I look thrown away. Wouldn't nobody want me anyway? I'm broke. I mean, every insult you can imagine. Every insult. And then I wondered to myself, you know, and they say, well, Ed, why don't you and men like you just go ahead and leave? Why don't y'all just go? Ron in the house. Much love, Ron Scudder. Good to see you, my brother. And Kevin said, yeah, he said that shit don't exist. Absolutely. Ron, thank you so much for joining me. And, you know, and these women said, go ahead and go. Well, I said, look, shit, I've been gone for 5 years. Andre can attest to this as well. We've been gone. I've been gone. I'm giving you what you want. But what does that go back to? It goes back to what I said earlier.
Here we go again.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Huh?
Praise the Lord.
Man Law 321. Thou shalt avoid the she-heathen at all costs. There is nothing you can do to make her happy. She lives in a mentality of constant misery. I meant to say, if there is no problem, she will create one. She will create one.
Praise the Lord.
Emotional damage.
That's what you got to deal with. See, I'm coming back to the States in a little while, and I already have some of my sisters that have hit the wall, fellas. My sisters that have hit the wall. Like, how many of y'all watched watched Devontae and Garcia fight last night? Huh? How many of y'all watched that fight? Did you see what happened?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Did y'all see what happened? Devontae dropped him with a body shot, and the way that he went down to one knee in submission, which I think was a smart move. The man got his whole career ahead of him. No need to take any additional punishment. He was very gracious after the fight. But you know who won't be gracious? Is the she-heathen. She's not going to be gracious. The wall is undefeated, gentlemen. The wall is undefeated. The wall is undefeated. The wall has hit these women the same way Devontae hit Garcia. Down to one knee. But their pride, their ego, their entitlement won't let them face the fact that don't nobody want you no more. Instead, what they want to do is they want to double down. And see, what men are telling them is that I want somebody who's fit, who's fine, and takes care of herself. And instead, this is what they're saying.
About to be 2023. It's okay to date bigger, fatter women publicly. If anybody got a problem with it, tell them to grow the up. You love who the love. All right? Stop being ashamed.
First of all, it looks like a dirty rainbow vomited on her chest. Look at those tattoos. That is deplorable. So she's already disqualified herself just from the tattoos alone.
My man,
we bring up the bonnet.
Check out
then
his,
we bring up the literal elephant in the room, and that's her side. But if you follow this channel for any length of time, you know that I usually don't make fun of people's aesthetics. But that's about to change right now.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Publicly. About to be 2023. It's okay to date bigger, fatter women publicly. If anybody got a problem with it, tell them to grow the up.
Rather than go on a diet, rather than stop being so goddamn big, because that's not healthy, people. And I'm not on here to disparage some people just because they size, but somebody tell me that that's healthy. But then you have the audacity to sit back and say that I have to accept that.
You love who the love. All right? Stop being ashamed.
First of all, it looks like a dirty rainbow vomited on her chest. Look at those tattoos. That is deplorable. So she's already disqualified herself just from the tattoos alone. Then we bring up the bonnet. Then we bring up the literal elephant in the room.
And brothers, it gets worse. I gotta let it roll.
But if you follow this channel for any length of time, you know that I usually don't make fun of people's aesthetics. But that's about to change right now. It's the fake confidence for me. Now look at this shit. Look at her, this TikTok page. This is her walking around some hotel. Oh, the bonnet comes off. Look at this. She knows good and goddamn well she's way too big to be wearing this type shit. Look at this nonsense. Oh, yeah. And if I had to see it, you have to see the shit too. Look at this. This is just ridiculous, man. Come on now. It's the fake bravado. And look at this. I swear, when I was growing up, it was a time where ugly and fat bitches knew their place. Unattractive and heavy-set women were humble. They were humble. But now we got 400-pound tattooed deep freezers walking around here thinking they Beyonce.
Gentlemen. Exactly. But it's the audacity. Because the thing that gets me, man, is once you talk to some of these modern women, what's the first thing they say? They got this laundry list. They got a laundry list of all of these things they want in a man. Unrealistic, delusional list of all of these things they require in a man. Their standards. 6 feet tall, 6 figures, all of that. 6-pack, 6 inches, all of that craziness. And that's what you bring into the table. But not just that, folks. It's the audacity to sit back and say that that's what I have to accept. That is what I have to accept.
What the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you?
That I have to accept that. And it brings me to my point for tonight. Wealth. And back to the conversation I had with Kevin today. And I'm going to share something personal with you. 2 days ago, my 22 and 24-year-old daughter left for South Korea to go work, to go explore, They went to go stay with a close family friend. And I really didn't realize how much it would affect our family. How much we would miss them. And if they see this stream, Fong Fong, Ching Ching, I miss you ladies dearly. I love you. You know, my lady was crying because her kids had never left before. And it threw off the dynamic of the family. I'm trying to look at it in a positive way because today I got to spend the whole day babysitting my 1-year-old and 4-year-old grandson and granddaughter. Got to spend some quality time with them. So there is some good that comes from it. But it hurt. And I was telling Kevin today, it makes me know more than ever that I did the right thing. Because this family is a family that I love, a family that I'm willing to work hard for, a family that I'm willing to provide and protect for, a family that doesn't repay me with money, a family that repays me with love, with respect, with appreciation. I've never once heard about a degree. And all these sisters that are leading off with a degree. I don't know how many brothers in here would admit to it, but I've never kicked a chick out of bed because she didn't have a degree. Never, ever in my life have I been about to get busy when I sat back and I told the chick, well, you got to get out of bed because all you got is an associate's. Don't nobody care.
No one cares. No one cares.
No one cares. You know, using a woman using her femininity as a bargaining tool. You know, I saw a video where a young lady said, well, I'll be feminine for the right man. If the right man comes along, then I'll be feminine. Either you're feminine or you're not.
Emotional damage.
Either you're feminine or you're not. And you don't realize that your femininity is your currency. So, brothers, I'll tell y'all this, and I'm going to play this last video before I open it up because I want you to see this. I want you guys to see this. Let me see where it begins. It's not even, okay. You know, sometimes, you know, StreamYard, if you don't play the video in a certain amount of time, and I'm going to play it right now. Here we go. Fair use.
He always thought I was a joke because of the type of dude that I am. You know, like I don't smoke, I don't drink, you know, I don't go out like that. I go to work, I go home. I play video games, I like anime, that type. So she never really gave me a chance like that. But she know I always have my own car and my own place and everything. I wake up at like 4 in the morning and she talking about some, hey, I know you hate me, but like me and my kids about to be out on the street, whatever. Can I come over there until I find a shelter? And I'm.
Do you remember what I said? Do you guys remember what I said when I did my live about the evictions? What was going to start happening?
At 4 in the morning and she talking about some, hey, I know you hate me, but like me and my kids about to be out on the street, whatever. Can I come over there until I find a shelter? And I'm.
Huh? Do you guys remember what I said in that stream? You're going to start getting those phone calls. He said 4 a.m. 4 o'clock in the morning. What did she say?
Looking around like, like me and my kids about to be out on the street, whatever. Can I come over there until I find a shelter? And I'm looking around like, what did you ask me that? Hell no, you can't come over here. We had a whole argument and I just ended the conversation like, I don't about you or your kids. Those are not my kids and those are not my problems. Get out my inbox.
Listen, I'm sure he went back to sleep in his warm, comfortable, cozy bed that night like, whew, sure glad I dodged that bullet. So let's get this straight. Now that you done went out there, messed up your life, got dicked down by the game, dealing with trash men who are not dependable, you want a real man to come save you. And this is why a lot of men can't do anything but just laugh.
He always thought I was a joke because of the type of dude that I am.
You see what I'm saying, gentlemen? I called it. I said that once that reality starts hitting them and they start getting evicted and they start getting put out of their house because of this mindset of carry before marry, have the baby, have another man take care of Pookie's kids. Now they calling you. 4 o'clock in the morning, they calling you. I don't have a place to stay. Can me and my kids come stay with you? And you're the type of guy that obviously is doing something right. You got your own crib, you got your own car. If you want to play video games and watch anime, who gives a damn? But she's calling you now. All of a sudden, you're an option. All of a sudden, you are a priority now. Oh, Kevin, my man. I told you. And there are probably thousands of videos of men saying that right now. I asked my man, Rubber Band Man, shout out to him, my boy Trey. I said, what's going to happen? Are these women going to actually wise up one day? Are they going to come to the realization and the error of their ways? Airborne, Earl. Keep your feet and knees together, baby. Door position, check body position. Hey. Shout out to all my airborne brothers. All the vets that have served our country. All the sacrifices you've made. If don't nobody else tell you, I appreciate you. But now they coming to you with that worn out wound that they gave up to somebody else, but now it's your turn to save them. You're supposed to be the 304 parachute. You're the savior now. All these young ladies that are graduating from college with a degree in humanities to do what? $100,000 in student loan debt to make $40,000 a year, not even in the middle class. But you got your degree. You got a car payment. You don't have a house. You have a mortgage. You have student loans. But now you want a man to come in. All of a sudden, now a man is important. I'm not hating. I'm just stating facts, folks. And I really don't care if women get mad. I'm just, hey, look, dude, what did I tell y'all before? It's not about feelings over here, people. It's about facts. Y'all click those likes. Click those likes. Exactly, JM. To my man JM in the building, I always like to have my man JM in the building. I always like to have you here, bro. It means nothing. You got a piece of paper. In this economy that we're living in now. But see, this is what they won't tell you. Had a girlfriend of mine call me and tell me, I'll never say this in public. I'll never put this on social media. But I have everything society tells me I'm supposed to have. I got the degree. I got the money, I got the car, I got the job, but I go home alone every night. I cry myself to sleep, or I wake up with somebody that I know he don't care about me, and I don't really care about him. I just need that warm body next to me. Now, see, that's a moment of honesty. That's a moment of clarity. But where is it done? She's saying it to me because she trusts me. She knows I'm not going to put her on blast by putting her name out there, because I wouldn't do that. But how many women out there are doing just that? Huh? How many women out there are doing just that?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Stop the cap. When they sit back and use that term, I choose to be single. I'm single by choice. And you know what that means. That means ain't nobody checking for me, so I want to go back out here and run the streets. I want to go back out here on the COCK carousel. I want to go back up there and get ran through some more. So I choose to be single. It's a lot. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, gentlemen. Maybe I'm wrong. You're right, Earl. They weren't chosen. James says, I feel like a lot of them actually like to be alone every now and then. They probably... JM, maybe I think we all feel that way. I got my lady here, man, but sometimes I like to sit up here in the man cave, man, and watch a movie or something, chill, but it feels good when you have somebody that loves you laying next to you. I don't think they really like to be alone. That's just me. Airborne, my man Earl. Yeah. Listen, folks, like Kevin Samuels used to say back in the day, right? Kevin Samuels said, what becomes more valuable with more use? I know I didn't say it like he said it. Hey, J Mose, thanks a lot, bro. $5 super chat. I truly appreciate you, man. Thank you. A woman's prime years are in her 20s. Her childbearing years. But if she's using those years to pursue a degree in her career and I don't need a man and I can do it by myself, and then all of a sudden she's running up, I believe 35 is the age where geriatric, pregnancies, you getting into that area where you might run into problems. I'm not an OBGYN, but if I'm not mistaken, you're getting into the danger zone. J-Mos, thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it. That's when they're starting to run into those issues. But by then, you've hit the wall. Andre, thank you so much, bro. 200 Thai baht. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Those women are hitting the wall, bruh. The wall, Mother Time, Father Time, Mother Nature are undefeated. And at the end of the day, people, she knows that. She knows that. She's like a kid whistling in the dark. I'm okay. I'm single by choice. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not lowering my standards. You know all the key words. You know all the key words. What's that saying is I'm afraid. Kevin says, single by choice translation. Shout out to, Destro Reborn. Check out his channel. I'm single because I made poor choices. Amen. Amen. I made poor choices. Like Andre said, the wall always wins. The wall is undefeated, Andre. The wall is undefeated. Daryl Dundee, let them rot. And that, Daryl Dundee, thanks for being here. And that brings me to this point. I'm not going to belabor that point about women hitting the wall and all that, gentlemen. I only bring it up because I want to lay the foundation of what I wanted to do today. So I'm doing all of this with a purpose. There's a method to my madness. I'm giving you my rationale on how you can achieve true wealth in your life. I showed you the definition of what Oxford or Webster's dictionary says wealth is, and it said material prosperity. I beg to differ. Wealth to me was my daughters coming to me and saying, I love you, Papa. We're leaving now. You know, my allergies started kicking in. I asked my lady, somebody cutting onions. I love you, Papa. I'm going to miss you, Papa. I promise to stay. I promise to be safe, Papa. Thank you for letting me go, Papa, even though I didn't want to. That brought me to tears. Hey, good morning, my brother. Good morning to you, man. I appreciate you. That brought me to tears. Last year, Free Thought says, wealth and prosperity, love and family. Yeah, they're synonymous. Last year, I was in a hospital bed in the ICU, bro. Me and Kevin talked about this as well. After the nurses were gone, after my family had left, after visitation hours were over, I laid in that bed and I stared at that ceiling and I was faced with my own mortality. I was faced with my own mortality. I had to sign an advance directive so someone could pull the plug on me. That's how bad it got. At that point, money didn't mean nothing. Money meant nothing. When that doctor said, we're going to see what's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours if you're going to be able to pull through this. Andre, thanks again, bro. 1,000 baht from Andre. Thank you again, bro. You are too kind, man. Families, everything, and brothers. Yeah, exactly. See, because like I've shared with y'all before, I wasn't always the best father. I wasn't always the best husband. I didn't do everything that I was supposed to do. I didn't live up to my obligations in the past. And maybe this woman and these kids have given me an opportunity. Maybe the universe has given me an opportunity to do the right thing this time. To my man, Daniel J., thank you so much for being in the building. Thanks again, Andre. I appreciate you. Hey, it's better to be seen and not viewed, as they say. Thank you so much, Airborne. It was tough, man. Imagine trying to dictate to a potential employer they will or will not accept in exchange for a salary. Exactly. You're not going to tell me what you're not going to do. I'm not going to listen to that. You're not going to tell me what you're not going to do. That's ridiculous. You bring up a great point, Ron. I sat there in that hospital bed wondering why I was going to live or die. It was different from a combat deployment because in my mind I was prepared that might be an eventuality, but this wasn't combat. This wasn't a deployment. I was in a hospital room by myself, hooked up to all these machines. Free Thought, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. I sat in that hospital room by myself, hooked up to all these machines and devices. I couldn't even eat. A dietitian, a specialist had to come in. They put a permanent IV under my arm here so that I could get nutrition every 12 hours because I couldn't digest anything by mouth. I lost 30 pounds. Skin was hanging off me when I got out of the hospital. JM, it started in Cambodia. And when the Cambodian doctors told me I had a mass in my abdomen, and the doctors here told me that it was inoperable, it was cancer, even though they hadn't done any tests. This same lady handed me $1,000. Even though I had enough money for the ticket, she handed me $1,000 and she said, baby, if you stay here in Cambodia due to what you're going through and how much it's going to cost you to get the care you need here or to go to Thailand, you might not make it. I'm going to miss you, but you need to go back to the States. I lied to Korean Air and told them that I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk. And I couldn't walk because my oxygen level was so low. My hemoglobin, my red blood cells were so low, I couldn't take more than 3 or 4 steps without being out of breath. But I knew that Korean Air would not let me fly if they knew I was sick. So I said that my feet hurt. I'm a disabled vet, so I could, be rolled on to the plane. So I did the 5-hour flight to Korea. Then I did 13 and a half hours to Atlanta. My girl CJ picked me up and took me straight to the ER at the VA hospital in Atlanta. And they immediately, upon triaging me, they put me in the ICU for a week. That's how bad it was. And I was blessed that I was in the position to do that because I might not be here today. So you don't think that in the back of my mind that I think about that on a daily basis. Just when I'm about to start arguing about something or complaining about something that I don't have in my life. When I'm about to get on my pity pot, I don't think about that. My stepfather who passed away, God bless Robert Armstrong, who sat back and said, we like to wallow in our own sugar honey iced tea because it's warm and it's comfortable, but it stinks. I'll never forget that. Earl, I'll say this. The VA in Atlanta has gotten better. There's still a lot to be desired. But here, bro, I'm going to tell you the God honest truth. The VA in Atlanta did their job by stabilizing the things that I was dealing with. The blood infection, the pancreatitis, the blood clots, the underlying issues that I was dealing with. They got me in the ICU. They stabilized me. But then they became the VA of old, Earl. Every day they would come in, oh, we're going to do this. You know, we're going to consult. I must have talked to the GI group, this group, that group, this group, surgical group. And at the time, no one was doing the goddamn thing. Same bureaucracy that you run into at the VA. So I did what I tell vets to do all the time, is to become an advocate for your own care. Nobody's going to fight for you the way that you fight for yourself. Thanks a lot, Ron. I'm just sharing the truth. Yeah, the VA in Atlanta, a lot of VAs. Matter of fact, if you really want to go to a good VA and you're in the Atlanta area, change your care to the Asheville, North Carolina VA. It's only 2 hours away. Go up 85, hop over on State Road 25. Go right into Asheville, one of the best VAs in the country, the Asheville VA. Definitely. But Atlanta has gotten better. Or, like I do, instead of picking the Arcadia Clinic as my primary care, I drive 25 minutes north up to Flowery Branch to the Oakwood Clinic, which has great doctors. So they're doing it. I'm not going to bash them. But what I did it with the VA in Atlanta is I told them I want to go to a different hospital. Thank you for what you've done for me. Thank you what you've done for me to get me stable. But y'all can send me to Emory. You can send me to another hospital that they can do this procedure that I need. I called the patient's advocate. I talked to my surgical team. They contacted Emory. And within 2 days, they changed me over to Emory. They transferred me to Emory, which is right around the corner from the Atlanta VA. So I got treated by a civilian doctor, better care, better hospital, and the VA paid for the bill. But to all my people that are really trying to do their job at the VA, thank you. Because of you, you saved my life. So I'm not going to crap on them. There's a lot to be done, but I'm not going to crap on them. But I told y'all that story from my heart, because what is real wealth? There's a video, and I wish I could have found it, of Bob Marley being interviewed. And I'm going to see if I can find it. But it's a video of Bob Marley being interviewed about wealth. And I'm hoping I can find it here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I want to share this with y'all. And I'm so glad I found it. But I want to share this. This is an interview with Bob Marley. Let me go back to this.
But Bob reckons BMW stands for Bob Marley and the Wailers. Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Fair use.
I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness.
Even though the temptation is to laugh at a...
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry I messed that up, but I'm going to play that again.
Bob reckons BMW stands for Bob Marley and the Wailers. Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
You have a lot of possessions, a lot of money in the bank.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
Even though the temptation is to laugh at a...
Wow. Wow. I saw that and it just hit on me. Bob Marley. He said positions. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you so much. I'm glad I made it too. So Bob Marley said, so possessions make me wealthy? He said, that's not the kind of riches I'm talking about. Having you gentlemen on this live today makes me wealthy, gives me purpose, lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. And that's why it means so much to me. I'm not going to get myself caught up in this minutia of going back and forth with people about black men don't like black women and blah, blah, blah. That's not the point. The point is, make the best of the life that you have right now. Make the best of the life that you have right now. The great philosopher Albert Camus once said, people misuse the term that life is too short. He said, life is not too short. We just don't use it correctly. We take it for granted. You never know when the time is up. Every birth certificate has an expiration date. Huh?
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, wealth does not make the... No, it doesn't. You know what makes me wealthy? Is watching my grandbaby walk today. Watching my grandbaby. Watching him walk. That's what makes me wealthy. Is watching that little smile. You know, he's 1 year old, and now he finally likes Papa. And I'll share this with you. You want to talk about wealth? This is wealth. That's wealth. That's wealth. That's who I got to spend this whole day with today. I got a second chance for the first steps that I missed. Don't listen to what these people have to say, gentlemen. Now, I'm not going to downplay the importance of having your money stacked. Because the biggest mistake that I've seen people do when they leave the matrix is to underestimate how much it's going to cost for you to live somewhere. Exactly. Or saying it worse words or saying, I love you, Dad. Don't just jump out the matrix without a plan. Don't jump out the matrix without a plan. Those things are priceless, Daryl. Those things are priceless. That smile he gives me. Like when I finish this live, he's right downstairs and I'm going to go hold him and bring him upstairs and we're going to put on Netflix and we're going to watch cartoons till he goes to sleep. You know what price tag do you put on that? Bob Martin and my man, Men's Daily Advice and Encouragement. Bob Martin says he's rich in life. I tell people, if you don't have your life or good health, money, materials, don't mean nothing to you if you can't enjoy it, health, and function. Bruh, my brother, I thank you so much for that. See, because having been in the military and global, you're absolutely right. Thank you for being here. Being in the military for so long, I was always physically fit. I never really had any health issues until I turned to my 50s. So I became very arrogant about it. I'm about to drop the link. And I realize now how important health is. But see, that's what I want to do here on this channel. I want to help create an environment that you can leave the matrix. Do your research, get your money together. Learn how to budget, because I'm terrible at it. My man Andre, I'm so blessed. Andre Brooks in the building.
Give me 1 minute.
Boy. Yeah.
Give me 1 minute. I don't know if you can hear me, but let me put some buds in.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on. I got you playing in the back. Let me stop. All right. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, now we good. Hey man, a lot of stuff you say, man, people do not understand. You know, the whole family dynamic. I always say a man without a family is usually a man without a purpose.
Amen.
And our sisters back home, they don't understand how important it is to have a family, to keep that unit together. This is why you don't have a community there anymore, because we got rid of our families for stupid stuff like degrees, BMWs, the mansion, being a boss chick. None of that, all that, when you really look at it, Ed, all that is worthless. I was just like that when I was in the Matrix. I was a working class man. I had the house, the car. It may not be the house or the car that the ladies like, but I had all that, Ed. And then I looked around and I said, you know what? I have everything here, but yet I am surrounded by nothing because there was no one there to share it with. No wife, no daughter, nobody. Until I met my young girlfriend here in Thailand. And once I started talking to her and I realized this is something, I sold everything, Ed. Everything.
I know, I did too.
To be part of something greater than me. People don't understand that, man. And it's sad that they don't. Be honest with you, Ed. I got a daughter back home in the States. I haven't seen her since she was 7 because
her mother decide that she's going to alienate me from the kid.
Yep. Use them as a weapon.
Yep.
You know,
The
child had nothing to do with you guys. The child had nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
But I'm going to punish him.
Yep. And no matter how much you reach out to try to spend time with the kid and you trying to negotiate, everybody say go to court. But man, you ain't got that time, you ain't got that money, and going back and forth to court it's a drag on your life. And people
it's so stressful.
Yes.
It is so stressful, and you're not going to win.
Right. There you go. Exactly. So I said to myself, what's the point? If you're not going to let me spend time with the kid, sure, it's going to hurt me in the end, but I can't give in and let you have this much power over me using our kid. So when the kid get old enough, if she wants to come see me, she can come see me.
Andre, if I can share with you, that's exactly what happened with my youngest. And it wasn't until they got older, I'm talking like late high school, like junior, senior,
right,
when they got to the point that they were leaving her house. And then that way I didn't have to necessarily talk to her in order to talk to them.
Right.
And because of social media, they could contact me directly. And then even then, bruh, I showed grace by not bashing their mother to them.
Right.
That was the perfect opportunity to go in, right?
Yes.
And I was like, nah, I'm going to be a hypocrite if I do the same thing.
Right.
Now my daughter and my son are slowly coming back in their 20s. Like, they won't say it, but in their actions, they're like, mom was full of shit. Mom told us a bunch of stuff that wasn't true. So I pray that that's what happens. But unfortunately, that's the only hold she has over you. If that's how she perceives it.
Yeah. But
I'm going to hurt Andre by keeping his kid, which hurts the kid.
But I'm going to say this, Ed, I knew about going overseas and finding better women when I was much younger, I probably would have did it. But at the time, I'm older than you. I take you in your 50s. I'm in my 60s. Yeah. So back in those days, nobody wasn't talking about going to Thailand. Nobody wasn't talking about going to the Philippines and all that. We were still thinking our sisters was still on our side. We thought, we used to laugh at the white guys for going overseas, finding these women, and now look who's laughing, because now we in the same situation. We got to go overseas and do what they did, but they was doing it much earlier than we were, because we thought it was corny, and we thought our women were the best, and we ain't got to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Why do we need to get a passport? And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you realize, you know something? You need a passport.
Well, a lot of us are raised in that matriarchal home.
Yeah, exactly.
And when me and Kevin talked earlier today, men get married to make it work. Women these days get married with one foot out the door. I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to go into this marriage, prepare for divorce. I'm going to keep all my stuff on the side just in case this doesn't work. Like Kevin Samuel said, and the statistics back it up, we marry black women at 80%. We don't really go outside the black community. We love those black women. It's just the fact that they have no respect for us anymore.
Nope.
None. Global, you in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, and how you guys doing?
All right.
They're gonna suffer, because more and more men are gonna actually get their passport and go overseas because their head's not in the right space. It's about money. If you notice, all these women, they're talking about money. Money is the whole goal of the relationship, and it's not. It shouldn't be that. That's the problem. When you look at the women overseas, they're not talking about money. They're not even talking about green cards. They're talking about just being a wife. That's just the bare basic. I was watching something on Average Man Unplugged where he showed a video about these Filipino women. They were just talking and responding back to what, these black women were saying about them. They were talking, yeah, we were raised to do this stuff. I mean, even when we played house, you know, and, you know, they taught us how to be good wives and good mothers and stuff like that. And we inspired to do that. That's something that was in our culture. And this is something we still inspired to do. But it seems like now, even in our culture, really, most of the women are not inspired to do that. It's always a money base.
It's transactional.
Yeah, it's totally transactional. And it does not make any sense whatsoever. You know, you have to pay this bill. You have to pay that bill. Well, why are you making bills to begin with?
You know what, Global? I say this, and you know, in the military, my job, one of the big things with my instructors used to tell me is, you know, pay attention to detail. You know, it's the devil's in the details. You know, I remember being on a live stream, couple live streams that Andre was on, and I saw his lady bring him something to eat. And I saw Andre turn around and give her a hug and a kiss, and I thought it was one of the sweetest things that I had seen. And I don't know whether a lot of brothers on that live had noticed that, but I watched it in the background.
You mean from Andre from Love Crossing Borders?
No, Andre Brooks right here.
Oh, okay.
His lady came in the background. She gave him a little hug, and he turned around, acknowledged her. She brought him a little something to eat or drink or whatever it was. And those are the things. Those are the little bitty things. You know, because you can't fake that, Global. You can't fake that. A woman can't fake that. You see what I'm saying?
That's just saying I love you.
Yeah, it's a small. It's not even the intercourse. It's the intimacy. Yeah. It's the fact that they care. You know, I hear these women say, "Well, I'll be feminine for the right man," or "How much you gonna pay me to be feminine?" Get out of here. Pay you to be feminine?
There you go. It's about money. That's the problem. A relationship is not built on money. It's built on love. And they don't know how to love.
And maybe I was holding out hope for them because I kept asking the question, you know, do you think there's going to be a paradigm shift? Do you think there's going to be a change in these women? And all the brothers on this panel and would always tell me, no. But the more that I look at it, it almost seems like they doubling down.
They're getting work. We was all like that, man. We was all like that. We all think there was going to be a paradigm shift. Even me. That's what took us black men so long to get our passports and go overseas. Because we thought there was going to be some chance in our lifetime or in the next lifetime that these women would change and realize the errors of their ways. But no, it's too late for them.
Hey, you know, I talked to a young lady that's graduating from college next month. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to do? You know, what did you get your degree in? Philosophy.
Oh, Jesus.
Then I said, so what are you going to do after you know, with your degree? And her first answer to me was, well, I think I might go back to school and get my master's. Rice Patty in the building. And I started thinking to myself, so I said, what are your, you know, prospects for a job? And she said, well, I'm not really thinking about that right now. I really don't know what I'm. So basically, you went to school for 4 years and got a degree just to go back to school again and still have no prospect for a job. I said, what about a relationship? Well, I really don't have time for that right now. And I'm talking to a 22-year-old black woman. And I just shook my head like, wow. Here is a living, breathing example of what Kevin Samuels was talking about.
I have a story about the opposite of that. I met a young lady. She got a degree in liberal arts, but she had a passion for computers. And she went to one of those boot camps and became a software engineer for a very popular app, making $350K a year.
Wow.
Black Haitian woman. I spent 4 hours with her, just talking to her, and she was very inspiring. She inspired me to get my cyber certifications, which I got 2 of them. And yeah, that was a rarity.
Yeah, that's an exception to the rule.
That's an exception to the rule. So they are out there, but it's like, you know, they're very hard to find.
I want to ask Andre. What value has she brought to your life? Or can you even put it into words?
It's kind of hard to put in words, but you know, when I was in the States, I felt like I had no purpose. Then when I came to Thailand, I realized that I had a purpose. Like you, I realized I have a second chance at being a part of a family. Because back in the States, I had a family, but because, you know, how our lovely ladies don't work with us. So I wanted to go right. She wants to go left. And even though going left means we do it out, we don't have. And I explained to her, we go my way, we'll have money. We'll not, you know, not making that the only thing, but we'll be in a much better position to take care of my daughter, take care of the things that we need to take care of as far as building her a future. And her whole thing was, we're not doing that. We're going this way. So she left. So I come here with this woman and I get love, I get kindness, I get respect. She's standing right there while I'm saying all this.
With a big smile, humility.
Yes.
I mean, it's like even with my lady Sim. Sim was, and I have to be very honest about this. Sim saw value in me that I didn't even see in myself. I had been beat down so much by what I heard in the Matrix that it was easy for me to see the value in her, Andre. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And she said to me, you know, because in their culture, you know, I'm no good. I was married. He passed away, blah, blah, blah. You know that culture.
Right.
I said, well, I see value in me. And she turned around. She said, well, why are you going to settle for me? And I just sat there for a minute like, what? Me settle for you? I feel like I hit the jackpot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then to go back to the States and then have women just immediately, I'm talking about, I mean, bruh, you know, Global and Andre, I'm talking about women I've known for 20 plus years. When I went back last year, and I see you over there running with them old poor dirt foot women over there in Asia, you can't handle us. And I just looked at them, bro, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to even dignify that with a response.
But you know something though, Ed? If you was with them, they wouldn't even bring you a plate of food.
No,
even, probably even on your deathbed, those women over there will not bring you a plate of food because they'll look at you and say, "Well, he got hands and feet. Why can't he do that?" Let me tell you a little story, if you don't mind.
Sure. Take your time.
I did on my YouTube channel. I did this video, and it was called "How Thai Women Treat You," and I got a little bit of pushback from the ladies because I showed on my video all the things that my lady does for me. So one of the things I showed is her like folding clothes and washing clothes and stuff like that. See, over here in Thailand, they really don't like using washing machines.
They don't do that. You know, Sim barely does it, but just because of the amount of people that we have in the house.
Right.
But she still scrubs it before she puts it in the washing machine. So yeah.
Would you believe these ladies, our lovely lady says, you got her washing clothes in a bathtub? What kind of man is you? This is what they was leaving in my chat in my comment section. One person said, she's bringing you a plate of food. That is just way too much. What's wrong with your legs? I'm saying, they don't get it. They just don't get it. And that's why they're going to be left behind.
My daughters, Rubber Band Man in the building. The deacon has finally made it in. The whole deacon has made it to the chat.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Rubber Band Man.
Praise the Lord.
There he Chris is in the building. Hey, but Sim she made it basically clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she'll go open the bar. Like right now, she went to go open the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
She told me, if you get hungry, my daughter's downstairs. Call me, I'll have her bring you some food up. I've already cooked, but you weren't hungry at the moment. But if I can't bring you the food, then she downstairs, she'll bring it up. And then what does her daughter do in turn? Is teach her daughter the same way. But to believe that woman is weak, oh my goodness.
That's not weakness.
You think Thai women or Asian women are weak? No.
That is not weakness at all. That's just love. That's
and then what do these women do? And what do these women do? They turn around. Hey, Rice Patty in the building. This is what they turn around and do. These women now have gone and picked fights. They've gone out and they've picked fights with these Thai women, these Filipino women, these Colombian women. And then they turn right around and have the audacity to say, why don't y'all protect us? No. Oh, hell no.
You know, there's this YouTuber. Her name is Gail. She's from Guyana. And shout out to Gail. She made it clear. My husband is not out here to protect women. He's out here to protect a woman, and that's me. He is there to protect me when I'm in danger. You women,
I saw that video.
Women need to get your man to protect you.
But I'll say this, Global, and I keep talking about Kevin because we had such a deep conversation. Rubber Band Man said, when you got an ex-stripper baby mama giving relationship advice, it's a wrap. Yeah, you got to consider the source. Due to my lady's femininity, she's my precious cargo. You fellas understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's my precious cargo. I take it, almost on a vow of my own life to make sure that nothing happens to her. She's provided for no matter what. If I don't eat, she's going to eat. Those kids are going to be taken care of. You understand? That's my role. That's my obligation. That's what I'm supposed to do. Because she's worthy of that. Just like I'm a man that's worthy of being submitted to, she's a woman that's worthy of being provided for and protected. Now, having a woman in your house telling you what she ain't gonna do, no, man. Because think about how stupid this is, guys. I did this video about this alpha male, alpha beta thing, right? Because now in these YouTube streets that we live in, people throw those terms out, right? Alpha, beta, all of that, right? Like when I was in the Army, I'm serving in a unit where this is the top 2% of the military. So everybody in that training class or that selection is an alpha male or is a type A personality. You understand? We all the best at our own individual units, which makes it hard for us to work as a team because you got number chiefs. You see what I'm saying? So that's why our cadre used to tell us, we're not going to pick the guy that does every evolution right. We're going to pick the right guy, the guy that can work within a team. See, the professor that did that alpha thing, he was studying wolves. There's a whole website. I put it in the description of that video. And the alpha male was super aggressive. When it was time to eat, he would go to all the other wolves' ass. Oh, ain't nobody gonna eat before me. He was super aggressive. And then that same biologist or whatever monitored a pack of wolves in the wild. And that alpha male was totally different. Yes, he was still the alpha male, but he wasn't nearly as aggressive. He let the older and the young wolves walk in front. He walked towards the middle so he could watch the front and the back. You understand what I'm saying? He was a lot more nurturing and caring. And he turned around and said, listen, that book that I wrote about the alpha wolf, it was wrong. Throw it away, burn it. Because I was studying wolves that were in captivity, not in their natural environment. So people don't want to talk about that side of the alpha male thing. If you really the man of your house, you don't have to remind everybody. I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
My wife knows, and you know, and baby, tell me what you think about this before we make this decision. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I've preached enough. But I just can't. I can't. I can't for the life of me understand how these women expect anything to change. Or do you guys think they even care? What about you, Rubber Man? You think the modern woman cares? You don't hear me. Do you think that the modern woman even cares that she's going to end up by herself? Alan in the house. My man taking in from Colombia.
I think the modern woman is going to end up being alone based upon what her actions is. She just don't. She's living in delusion. She's living in absolute delusion. And she don't realize that, you know, her actions is what's causing her to be lonely. And she just,
you don't think she realizes, or you think she's just ignoring it? She doesn't care at this point.
At this point, I think she don't care at this point because here's the thing. Like, for example, when we're talking about she's wanting a guy making this amount of money. Okay, first of all, let's look at the type of guy that's making that type of money. Like, say, guy's making $500,000. You're a baby mama, and you want a guy making $500,000. Okay, that's 1% of the population, less than 1%. Those guys don't look for baby mamas. That's one. Two, you have to be of a certain caliber to be with that person.
True.
A very certain high caliber to be with that type of person. Okay. Those guys are generally in our age group. What we have in this panel right now, that's generally those type of guys. Unless you're in the athletics or you're in the entertainment, these are the guys that's making that type of money. Okay. They want a certain order in their home. They expect a certain things to happen with their women. And if you don't meet those standards, they're not going to bother you. Plus, the way you're talking, your body language and everything, they read that. They read that off the bat. So when you're talking about, well, I wanted this, and they know your trouble. They know a problem. And they just reads it off, and it's like, nah, this is a problem, child. I don't want to deal with it. Just from your presence. So
I mean, but wouldn't you think that? Well, first of all, I'm about to use a word, and this word and the word woman in the same sentence, which just don't go together, and that's logic. Logic. How can all of them really expect that they're all going to get high value men? If these men make up less than 2% of the available men, what makes them all think that they're going to get one?
Delusional.
That's it.
Delusional. Those are mine.
That's it. Delusional. They're all delusional. Because you see, you got to understand something. In other races, those guys don't start as high value men. It's like stock, you know. You see a guy, it's like a stock, you know. You read the perspective and you see the potentiality of the stock growing. They're not doing that. They're waiting at the finish line to get into the stock instead of being at the bottom where the stock has the potential to grow. That's where you make your money. You make your money when the stock is at its lowest. They're trying to get on board the stock when it's at its highest, which is a dumb move.
That's almost like, you know, if you bought Amazon at 25, you know what I mean, or 20 a share, you know, and then it shoots up to 100, then yeah, you've made money, but buying it at 100, you gain nothing really.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You're spending more money trying to get into a stock that you should have bought when it was at lower. You would have been richer then. And that's the thing with dating, you know. That's why they choose the wrong people. And it still doesn't make sense why. And that's why when they start saying, I want a man with 6 figures, it's like, no, you just want his money. You don't care about him because you'll give it up for free for Pookie and Ray Ray, and they ain't got no money. But yet and still, you want to go with this guy because he has money. So that doesn't make sense. That just tells me you love Pookie and Ray Ray because you're giving it up to them for free.
Yeah,
So
I wanted to touch on what Kevin just said. It's because the internet has tilted the scales in favor of the modern woman. They have access to men nationwide instead of just in their neighborhoods. They're able to communicate with more men. And now let's finish your point, Global. I think that's part of it, Kevin, but also if they're bringing that same negative baggage with them, aren't they going to get the same result regardless of the men that they meet, whether it's locally or nationally? You know what I'm saying? Because that's why you can't have a passport cis movement, because these foreign men ain't putting up with that. You understand? They can't roll the way that we do. And go ahead, Globe. I'm sorry I cut you off, man.
Kevin has somewhat of a point, but here's where the problem comes in, where they're going. See, we can go all over the world, but will they be able to do the same thing we're doing and get the same results? No. That's why you see them going to places like Gambia and Jamaica and stuff like that.
Poor men.
Yeah. Then they can't go to other places like that and get the same results like we're getting, because men over there are not going to tolerate that type of behavior.
And Andre, I'm pretty sure you can speak on that.
They want 6 figures. They don't want the man. They want his money.
I can tell you about Khmer men, and I've had the opportunity of seeing a wide spectrum of Khmer men, right? Because, you know, I played golf with a couple of politicians, big businessmen, and then we've gone to like, you know, Sofitel or some little, you know, fancy dinner. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards, those wives are like a step or two behind that dude. It's an unspoken thing, bruh. You know, I thought it was only in the movies, man, but it's for real life. She got that purse in front of her like this. She got on that nice little cocktail dress on, and my man is walking right in front, and she says nothing. The men congregate and laugh and talk and network. All the women sit at one table. Now, see, all of that rah, 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 she's jumping in the middle of the men's conversation. That's not going to fly.
No.
That's not going to fly. Because these ladies have learned what their role is and what their gender role and what their place is in this society. And it works for everybody. You know, all of us are grown enough to remember when you were young. Kids didn't talk when grown people were talking, did they?
Exactly.
Huh. But you know something, Ed? It was like that here in America somewhat in the 1950s and 1960s. Because I remember when I was growing up, your father was the head of the household. And he got the biggest chicken and he got everything because he went out and he went and worked. Mama stayed home, took care of the house. Now that you chased all the men out of the house, okay, now it's just chaos. When black men controlled the community, we had Black Wall Street because a black man started it. Because a lot of these people wonder why we can't make another Black Wall Street. It's because the black man is not in charge. Women don't build anything. Men do. And as long as they keep us out of the house and we can't play our role, you're never going to have nothing done.
Hey, Andre, on that note, I want to play this video. I want you, and this
guys, because they told you didn't need a man. So you can't, right? Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who raised them? Who raised them?
Let me start that over. She's complaining.
No, so I'm saying you don't think men were more masculine back then than they are now?
Men in general, men worldwide were more masculine because
No, so I'm saying you don't think men were more masculine back then than they are now?
Men in general, men worldwide were more masculine because we didn't have feminism. But see, the problem is black women, your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they really failed you guys because they told you didn't need a man. So you can't.
Right.
Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who raised them? Who raised them?
She don't want to answer.
80% of black children are born out of wedlock. Who raised them?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
We did.
Who's we?
My mom or whoever my grandparents did.
Black who?
Women.
Thank you.
So basically, they raise the guy and say, hey, that's basically what it is. I mean, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ed. It's way too late for the black community. There's nothing we can do for the black community.
Andre, I have tried my best not to say this. I really have, but this is genuinely how I feel. Whenever I see a channel or a person talking anything pro-black, I've checked out a long time ago, bro.
Same here. Same here.
I can't even fake the funk. I can't even come back talking about I believe in all of this. When I see in Chicago where Walmart is closing these stores and Whole Foods is closing these stores, like when I really delved into why they were closing the stores, because of the stolen shopping carts, because of the stealing, both by the employees and by everybody else. But what I did know was that Walmart had community centers in that Walmart that were helping the community. So you screwed yourself.
Pretty much.
But then you're gonna protest about what? That you ran this company out of your own neighborhood. And then you're gonna cry about a food desert. I checked out of that whole black thing a long time ago. If you want to turn my attention span off, is when I meet a brother or sister that comes to me with this pro-black shit, I'm done. I automatically start turning the volume down. I don't want to hear it because it's too late for talk. And I personally feel no obligation to try to help a group of people that's not willing to help themselves. Okay, yep. I said it.
Yep.
Go ahead, Global. I think you got something to say.
I mean, you're right. I mean, we're just destroying ourselves. I mean, even when they changed some of the laws in certain cities, they made it more lenient. Look what happened. Crime went up. And it was on us. You know, it doesn't, it's, people need to realize we're destroying ourselves, man. And it's basically, you can't blame anybody else but us because we're the ones that's creating the action and we're not doing anything about it. But just, oh, we got to blame this person, blame that person. What about parenting? Did anybody, you know, when they steal those stuff, did anybody have the decent discipline that return it back, those items back to that store?
That young kid that got that lost his life in Baltimore, I think it was, and everybody, there were all these people talking about, you know, they did this, they you know, shot him down in the street, all this craziness. It wasn't until I saw the video. Shout out to Michonne Denise, Messing Michonne Live. I love her content. But they interviewed the mother, Andre, of the boy that got killed, the mother of his friend that moved to Pennsylvania. And they asked her, why did you move? She said, well, I really kind of moved because of the boy that lost his life. And she said, what? She said, yeah, because he was such a bad influence on my son. And then that's when I found out that the boy had an ankle bracelet on. He was already on house arrest.
Right.
And all this stuff that he had done that the media conveniently left that out.
Of course.
Now, I don't deserve that. I'm not, advocating that he deserved to lose his life that way, but tell the whole story. You know, because you probably got a single mom that babies this kid, that babies this child. Yeah, you're right. Hey, special shout out real quick. My man John Abroad, fellow 82nd Airborne Division. My man lives here in Cambodia with me. Thanks a lot, Airborne. The women ran them in our house. Now a bunch of young boys were raised without a positive male role model and learn how to be a man from the streets. And let me tell y'all something that's special about John. John is prior military. I'm not going to put all this stuff out there. Prior, he's a policeman, military intelligence, and he sat back and told me, or psych ops, I'm sorry. He told me, he said, no one has been lied to more in their lives than him. John used to live here in Siem Reap with me. He moved to Camp Pot. We talk all the time. Shout out to that beautiful lady of yours. John has one of the biggest loving hearts and what he does for those kids. Let me tell you what this young man has done. He just bought a projector and a TV so he can do a movie night outside his house for the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is the caliber of guy that John is. And I just want to thank him. You guys check his channel out, John Abroad, my big homie from Seattle. I mean, I can go on and on, but thanks a lot, brother. But see, these are the type of role models. Go ahead, Andre.
I just want to say this. I always, when I run across veterans, I always like to tell you guys, thank you for your service, man. Because if it wasn't for you dudes, man, we wouldn't have the little bit of freedom that we have left now. So thank you for your service. Thank you for the gentleman that you were just talking to. Thank you for his service as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, I think what it did for me is the military. First of all, it taught me discipline because there were certain places I had to be at certain times, and there was just like no negotiate. You know, you got to be here at this formation at this time. Your bed got to be made, blah, blah, blah. And then that carries on to your life even after you get out the military. There's nothing in the world that makes me more angry than being late for something.
Yeah, that's true.
That pisses me off to no end at this time.
That for me too.
Yeah, it'll never change for me. But also, this is why I got to give props to sit back and say that my grandmother and my mom's era women were different from the women. My father died when I was 7 years old. My grandmother, in her infinite wisdom, knew that she could not teach me how to be a man. And I finally realized that. But you know what she did? She surrounded me by good men. Coaches, teachers, pastors, aunts, uncles, just good men. You know, she knew her limitations. You know what I'm saying? If I can give you an example, when I was raising my 28, she's 28 now. But when I was a single parent raising my daughter and she turned 13 and she had her first period. I ain't know what to do, bruh.
Yeah, I gotta,
I hit the goddamn panic button, Rice Patty. Oh, Houston, we got a goddamn problem. Biologically, I know what the fuck is going on, but emotionally, I don't. So I called my sister and I called my mom, and they came over and they, talked to her more on the women. You know what I'm saying? In other words, they're better equipped to deal with that situation from an emotional standpoint as me. But now you got women who don't respect men that are raising men they don't even respect themselves. That's pretty deep. If it wasn't for the if it was not for the service, yeah, that's John. If it wasn't for the service, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I owe you for my service. And John is a shining example, man. He's a wonderful man and person. But that's what's happening. And I think that that was just a little clip of Kevin Samuels talking to that lady, because Kevin Samuels said, "You're raising men you don't respect." Did you hear what she said? Feminine men. So she's saying, I don't respect feminine men. Well, Kevin Samuels was basically telling her, well, you raising them. You know what I'm saying? There's something unique between the bond that, and Rice Patty knows, is the bond that you have between a father and a son. When my son was like 4 years old, the babysitter was freaking out one day. You know, I had John today, and he peed. And he peed in the front yard. He just pulled it out and peed in the front yard. She said, what you going to do about it? I said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I said, come here, John. Did you pee in the front yard? Yes, sir. I said, next time, go around the back of the house and pee. I said, don't do it in the front yard. And she got mad as hell at me. And I said, well, look, he is not going to put that down. Once he discovers what the fuck it is, it's over. Just, you know what I'm saying? Once the showers start getting longer and all that other shit, you know, and he's going to need that guidance as a man, and that's something that she can't offer. But how can a woman raise a boy to be a man when she hates his dad?
Well,
explain that to me.
And they won't give the kid to the dad. They will never do that. So you always going to have these feminine dudes that they're complaining about because you don't want to cooperate. So what can anybody do? There's nothing anybody can do.
And then they choose the wrong dudes.
Well, you know that statistics actually suggest that children that are raised by a single father are as likely to succeed as kids that grow up in with two parents in the house. So I mean, like statistically, there's very little difference.
Between a single dad and a two-parent home.
Yeah, you know, and these are facts that pretty much like if you're getting divorced, then you should either try and stay together or let the dad raise them. You know, I mean that's
because I'll make this argument. I'll make this argument, gentlemen. When it came to my daughters, I have to admit, I never thought about the way that I treated women until I started raising one. I truly didn't. And that was because I realized very quickly that I was her first love affair. And by that, I mean, she couldn't just bat her eyes and say, well, daddy, I don't want to go to bed. I'm like, yeah, you cute, but you're going to go to bed. Because I had to teach her, you know, your womanly ways are not going to get you everything that you need in life. You know what I'm saying? And also, I was the living, breathing, shining example of what a man is supposed to be for her. So if this guy don't even live up to the bare minimum that I do for you, then don't mess with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I pull out the chair for you, he better do it. I told my daughters every day, you the most beautiful little girl in the world. So the first time a guy told her that, she'd be like, oh, come on, dude, you got to come with something better than that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I believe it works. I said, because I believe that men don't necessarily go into the world believing that the world owes us something.
Yeah.
And that's why we do a better job. In ancient Asian culture, Eric, if the man gets, I mean, that's how it used to be. But now the child is a cash cow. So, brothers, let me ask y'all this. We talked about the problem. What's the best way to, I hate to use the word show receipts, but to try to at least expose men that are in the matrix that there are at least other options? Is it just to show them through our actions and and how we're living? Or, I mean, what's the best way to do that, Andre? What do you think, man?
I think you're on to something. But as you know, we have a little situation here in Thailand with some dude running around bashing Thai women.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to do is it's like I talk dudes on my channel. Just don't watch the videos with the women and the thongs in it. You have to watch other videos so that you can learn about Thailand. We have to do more videos of, like, I have a friend here. He's married to a Thai lady. And he has a YouTube channel, but he does something totally different. We need more brothers like him to show that, hey, this is the relationship I have with this Thai lady. I'm married to her. I try to show guys on my channel that, you know, what my girl does for me. And we need more examples like that. We just can't keep doing thongs and pool parties and yacht parties. We have to show these brothers that, you know, it's not all perfect, but you can come here and you could find somebody. And just like I'm about to do another video, and I'm going to explain the situation here in Pattaya. Not everybody's selling box. You can find good, decent women here in Pattaya. You just have to be patient. You can't be looking for people on hookup, what you call those hookup apps with like Tinder.
Thai friendly.
Yeah, and Thai friendly.
Yeah.
We have to, we got to come out and tell these guys.
So I hear.
Yeah. I used to have a Tinder app, and when I realized what it was, I got rid of it. And then I was on Thai Friendly, and I was like, this seems kind of grimy. I got rid of that too. I know of websites where you can go and you can meet working class Thai women, working class Filipino women, working class. If you want to go to Cambodia, there's websites.
Yeah, they're there. Yeah.
Right. You know, I tell guys to go to Thai Cupid or something like that. And I get stupid stuff like, oh, there's scammers on there. But brothers, there's scammers everywhere. You just got to deal with it, man. I mean, we got to grow up a little bit here, man. I mean, we play a role in some of this stuff too now. I mean, if you're a simp in America,
you're going to be a simp when you travel.
Exactly. And then you come to Thailand and you become a simp. Now you're messing up the ecosystem for everybody.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Rice Patty?
There's never going to be a situation where you don't have to vet a partner. You know, I mean, you really got to just pay attention, find out who they actually are, and that does take patience. You know, this whole like, you know, falling in love after like 3 dates. You know, I mean, that's not going to happen. Okay, that's the Disney mentality getting to us. You know, where we're, you know, I mean, some of us guys suffer from it too, where we think things are supposed to be perfect. All right. We think that we're going to get that risk-free, you know, guaranteed to win lottery ticket, you know, and it takes some patience. You know, you gotta pay attention and vet people properly in every country. You know, it's that, I mean, that part of it is not going to change because there's always going to be people that are going to be looking to use you. I mean, that's what people do. Men and women alike, they take advantage of people's kindness in order to extract what it is they want. Usually it's money. Sometimes it's something else.
But I also think that a lot of these guys come with these, their expectations are wrong. There is no utopia. And I've said that I don't know how many times. There is no utopia. And you're talking about you coming to a country where you can afford that woman a life that she can normally never get. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which doesn't give you the right to not treat her with respect at all. Right? But it can be, you know, for instance, during the pandemic, I think they were giving out free vaccinations here in Siem Reap at the regional hospital, but you had to go over to City Hall to get this. You know, Cambodians never make anything goddamn simple. You got to go over to City Hall to get some paperwork. There was a dude that was 80-year-old white guy, and you could tell he wasn't in the best health, but he was hanging in there. But he had this lady that had to be at least half his age. Come on, lady. Taking care of him. She got the tuk-tuk. She went and got the paperwork. She helped him read it. And he said, man, I can't tell you for the past 10, 15 years how much this lady has made the quality of my life better. And then his retirement, I'm pretty sure his life insurance and all of that is going to leave her pretty well off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know their situation, but it's mutually beneficial, right? You know, because people here don't put their elderly in nursing homes. They're at the house. You know, it goes back to that community. But I think a lot of these guys, and Andre, if you remember on that live, I said, don't create a climate and then complain about the weather.
Right.
You guys are showing thongs, TNA, 808, Walking Street, but then now you're venturing off the path into this way where you talk about every woman in Pattaya in one broad brush. So now you're calling every woman that lives there, and I thought I was the only one that saw that. Because the more y'all talk about how ratchet these women are and what they do, you're talking bad about Thai women in general. And how long is that going to last?
Not long. Let some of Thai officials hear you talking like that. And brothers don't realize your freedom of speech does not come with you when you leave America. It stays back home. And if some government official hear you talking this way, they can boot you out of the country. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, whether your friends agree with it or disagree, you're gone. And that's why I think that's this whole talking about foreign women in the country it's goofy. You're in the country and you're bashing them. What do you think is going to happen to you eventually? You're talking about
what do you think,
mother,
Global?
daughter.
And these guys need to understand something about that. If that is against the law, they can go to Interpol and ask for a warrant for your arrest. If you're talking bad about these women, if you're breaking their laws, even if you're over here, they can actually put a red notice, is what they call it, and put that out for your arrest. So when you can be over here talking all this smack about calling these women hoes, this and that, and disparaging them. They can get your information and stuff like that. They can ask for a warrant for your arrest. That's why you need to shut up about calling these people this, and that. And they had to take a video down. Like, I think you played a little bit of it earlier about women talking about the women over in Thailand and Philippines and stuff like that. They just this and that. They actually violated the Anti-Asian Hate Crime Act that was put out.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah. See, they make these statements not realizing they're breaking laws. And they're not just breaking laws in the U.S. They can be breaking laws in other countries. That's why, some of these women need to just shut up. And some of these dudes, how they're portraying women on YouTube, they need to stop, because they're also leaving evidence for them to prosecute you. So, we need to start promoting the fact that, let's find professional women that's out there, the working women that's in these professions, because those are the ones you want to get. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% utopia trying to get these women, but those are the ones you want to get, because you want to have those professional women because you want to have a dual income coming in. So those are the ones you want to shoot for. The ones that are the doctors and the lawyers and things like that. That's important. Not these ones that's the bar girls and stuff like that, because how many times they've been hit on and, been with foreigners that came and visit and stuff like that. It's like, I think you said it. It's not, she's not your time. It's just your turn.
Your turn.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've also seen bar girls that they don't want to do it. Right, Andre? They really don't want to do it.
No, they don't.
I've seen them where they've met a guy and they might have seen that guy a couple of times, and then that actual relationship develops into something more. There's always those unique situations where that happens. But also, I've met the ones they for the streets. They like that sort of thing. And that comes back to what Rice Patty and Men's Daily was saying, is that's where the vetting comes in. You know what I'm saying? I just straight up had a come to Jesus meeting. And when it really hit me with my lady was the first time I got ready to go back to the States, right? She started acting, really stressed out, like out of character. And I said, Sam, what's the problem? And she said to me, are you sure you're coming back? And I thought about that for a moment. How many men has she been with before that told her I'm going back for a week or two and I'll be back, and they never came back?
Oh, that's a big thing over here, man, in Thailand.
It's huge. So it almost like, even in that situation, I had to earn her trust. You see what I'm saying? What in this particular situation with that young man, I talked to a couple of dudes in old boys camp, and they were like, well, this brother puts up these videos saying that, Thailand is this wonderful, fantasy land. I said, no, dude, I haven't seen no videos that have said that in that way. We want to know the real story, the real deal. And you know what I told him? I said, listen, I'm going to be back in the States in May, and I want to go to Costa Rica, right? I've always been curious about Costa Rica. So you know what I do? I look at, let's say, 5 pro Costa Rica videos, and then 5 anti Costa Rica videos. And then I try to come to some sort of consensus based upon that. Or I just say, hey, anybody on my live in the Costa Rica, hit me up and let me know what the deal is. Because that's what the network is about, right? It is not a YouTuber's responsibility to tell you everything about a place that goes. How the hell are you going to put that responsibility on one guy? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Ed didn't tell me that the girl down at the Love Bar in Siem Reap, Cambodia was going to rob me for my cell phone. It ain't my goddamn responsibility to do that. You see what I'm saying? And I think like Andre did, and Global, and even you, Rice Patty, is what I wanted to do is I want to highlight the guys that are living that life, not rubbing it in your face type way, but saying, hey, listen, this is how I create. I'll say this. There was a little cartoon on Facebook, and it was these 2 stick figures. And one of them was carrying the word happiness. He had it on his shoulder. And the other little cartoon said, hey, man, where'd you find that? He said, I didn't find it. I created it. And that little cartoon was life-changing to me in a lot of ways. I have the financial ability. I've created a life for myself, and I'm living somewhere that's not working for me. Right? I'm not finding the contentment, the satisfaction, the fulfillment that I feel that I need at this point in my life. So you know what I'm going to do about it? I'm going to get that little blue book and I'm going to go explore my options. What's wrong with that? But it's something that Global said before. They don't want to see you happy.
They don't. And that's the problem, because it's power to them. All this has always been about power, control. We got control over these men because of what they did, but they don't realize that they've messed with the devil all this time. The Pookies and the Ray Rays. Those are the ones they should be focused on. But it seems like when you have these live discussions, they seem to defend them. But they go after us, the ones that had nothing to do with it at all. We're the ones that get punished for it. And it's like I said, it's this delusion that they're living. And it's not all of them, but it's the majority of them. And that's why I say, guys, you just need to go overseas and just explore your options. But I'm not telling you this isn't a utopia, because it's not, because you're going to deal with a lot of this. You're going to deal with a lot of the problems we're experiencing here, probably over there. You have to have a vetting plan. You got to know what you're vetting these people for. Like I said on your last live stream, you got to vet them. You got to vet the family. Man, you have to vet the dog and the chickens and everything else. Vet them all.
And maybe Andre can speak to this too. Is like, I love Sim, I love her family, but hey, dude, I had to set my boundaries, man. I had to set my parameters, and I had to do it in the most loving, diplomatic way that I could to let them know that I am not the savior for your whole family. And John says it all comes down to the type of woman the fellow wants. What are you looking for? Do you want to pay to play? Do you want somebody who will take care of you? You can find both. Yeah, absolutely, John. And I said that before. I said that, John. I said that before on one of my lives. like one of the first things you need to ask yourself is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? If you're looking for pay to play, that's easy. You can get that anywhere. But if you're looking for something more, then, you know, if I want to buy a Chevy, you know, extended cab, I don't go to the Ford dealership. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking for a wife, then I'm not gonna go to 808. That's not where you're gonna find her.
Exactly. Or Walking Street.
You can tell he's old. Listen to him. You can tell, you know, I call him Big Country. The gal I am with worked at a restaurant I frequent. Talked to her every day for a month before she agreed to meet me for dinner. She was vetting me as I was vetting her. And believe me, guys, I know this for a fact because I watched this develop, because me and John talk all the time. See, this is the reality, Andre, that I told these little young cats that are bashing these women, right? Mm-hmm. Now, out of their mouth, they claim they want a regular girl, right?
Right.
I said, this is the reality, gentlemen. You come here and you meet a regular girl, you're not smashing, bro. Mm-hmm. It's not happening. Seriously, somebody tell me I'm wrong. It's not happening.
Until she has to have some serious trust.
You got to meet the mom, the dad. Yep. You have got to earn that. She's got to know that you're not just going to up and leave. So be careful what you ask for.
But can I say something on that too, Ed?
Yeah, sure, Andre. Go ahead.
You know, a lot of these guys, they always say they want a traditional woman, but they don't realize what comes with that. You have to take care of this woman. That means you got to pay her bills. You got to feed her, clothe her. You got to put a roof over her head. You got to pay for all this because you're the one that wants a traditional woman. So therefore, you have to be a traditional man. And a lot of these dudes, they call that tricking. So if that's tricking and you don't want to do it, what do you want? I'm confused at this point, because when we was on the panel, that dude, what's his name, Natneezy or whatever his name was, he said we're tricking. So if you want a traditional woman and you don't want to do the traditional thing, I'm confused. I don't. What do you want then?
First of all, that, you know, it was even like when I went down to Colombia. And John, love you, brother. The thing that got me when I went down to Colombia was the exact same way. Now you're talking about 13,000 miles away, Andre. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Medellin, Colombia, mm-hmm. where this girl was like, hey, you got to meet abuela, you got to meet mama, papa, tia, you got to meet the family. You got to meet them. You know, the family has to vet you. And then after I was there for 3 months, so I wasn't there for like 3 days, 3 weeks. I was there for 3 months. I started to notice, if a Colombian woman walked up to you and initiated the conversation, 9 times out of 10, she's a working girl, because the regular girls just don't do that. That's not their culture. Huge red flag, unless that's what you're looking for. My daughter's the ones that just went to Korea. She said, Dad, I want to go date this. I want to go out on a date with this guy, and he's a Bahrain, a foreigner. I want to go out with him, but I want him to know that it's going to be nothing more than a date. She's 24. That's nothing I had to tell her. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? That was no prerequisite I put on her. She just told me, bruh. She said, look, but you need to let, in other words, Daddy, let him know ain't no hanky-panky gonna go down. She said, because that's how my mom raised me. And, you know, as a father, I said to my man, what kind of planet am I on that women are like that? So them same little brothers that were on that panel talking all that craziness, you know, what is it? Did you want Zoom to come on there and give you the pimp game plan to Pattaya? That's what it sounded like to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And more importantly, are you giving this brother his flowers now on the fact that he built such a platform? He was a pioneer in this space. Mm-hmm. For him to even mention you on his thing is good. You know what I'm saying? And why are we dragging this out on video in front of the whole world to see, Andre?
You know what? I wanted to say that, but you couldn't get in the word edgewise. So I wanted to say that because we can't be just like who's the other two dudes who's beefing on Razor Ray's channel. I can't think of the two brothers' names at this moment.
Casanova Caribbean.
Yeah.
Definitely one of them.
Yeah, we gotta stop hashing this crap out on YouTube, man. Do that behind scenes because it makes us look like, like some of our detractors talks about us. Makes us look like ninjas. And if you want to avoid that, don't do that. Do it behind scenes like other people do. You don't see two Indian guys getting on YouTube and going at each other. You understand what I'm saying? We have to.
What do you feel about Global? Were you on that stream, or did you hear it?
I came the one with on Zoom to Thailand. I came in on the last half and stuff with Magnesium and stuff like that. And this is me. I don't know what originally caused that. I know that traveling time with Paul, I wasn't there for that.
Great point, man.
But the thing is, like you said, that's stuff you handle on the back end. You don't do that on a live, because it just looks like you're trying to take a brother down illegitimately, and you want to sit there and you want to be the new superstar and this and that. It doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, last week he gave me his, he gave me flowers and stuff. I appreciate that. I'm usually not on Richie Mac's show and stuff like that. He gave me flowers because he knows about me and stuff like that. Because a lot of other people talked about me and stuff like that. He probably caught my name in his ear and stuff like that. But, you don't do stuff like that. If you got a problem with somebody, take it on the back end, behind the scenes, and speak about it, on a personal level and stuff like that. You don't do it on YouTube, man. I thought that whole interaction was disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
I hate the way that they went after Chocolate Man's lady.
That was outrageous.
And I also hated the way that they went after Elle. What they had to say about her and how her and him met. Because certain things to me are totally out of bounds. There's no need for that. Right? Because first of all, I don't have to be with her. I ain't got to be with your lady, Andre. I ain't got to be with Chocolate Man. I mean, that's your business. How you manage your business.
Exactly.
We're talking about something different, and keep it among men. Say, hey, man, why don't you hit me up offline? DM me, message me, WhatsApp me, and we'll talk about it. But it's something. It's just like what Rubber Band Man said. People do this to get clicks and likes and controversy. And you know what? I could give a rat's ass if I got 2 people or 200 people on my live. I'm not going to, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not going to waste my time digging through the YouTube streets to find out who's hating on who. So let me bring this up and then let me invite him on because I know he doesn't like, come on, man.
That's conversations need an audience.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of black YouTubers I'm seeing right now. That's what they do. They do a lot of their content is about hating on people. It's not about anything positive or something like that, or just having fun or learning something new to better everybody else. It's like when somebody got something good, we're going to hate on them and stuff like that. They need to cut this hate out, man, because it doesn't do anything. A lot of these people just hating on Passport Bros for no reason. Got themselves in situations where they're slandering dudes, and right now there's going to be lawsuits dropping, or because you want to get clicks, likes, and views over a topic that's none of your business. Hey,
bro, I saw this thing with Tommy Sotomayor today, where it must have been 10 people on one panel, and all of these brothers on there disparaging each other, hating on at each other, cussing each other out. While everybody's talking, they got their Cash App running across the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cash App me, but F you, ninja, blah, 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 blah. But but here's my, I'm sitting there like, okay, what is really getting done here? And that's why I did my last live, fellas, when I said leave. And it was you, Andre, that said it. And that's where I got it from. So I got to give props where it's due. Leave that matrix mentality back in the States. There's no place for it here. It doesn't work here. If you come, I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to burst a lot of people's bubble. Brother, if you come here to Cambodia with your Gucci, your Louis, your chains, guess what? They don't care. These Cambodians don't give a rat's ass about any of that, man. They truly don't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got a different value system here altogether. And their value system is all about family.
The Khmer people that I know here that got money, when I'm talking about, and it was sort of surprising to me. The first time I went to Phnom Penh, Rice Patty, I go meet a British friend of mine, and we're going to dinner. We're going to a steakhouse. Now, in my mind, here I am with that arrogant American mentality. I'm in a third world country, dirt poor. I'm in Phnom Penh, and we walk past the Aston Martin dealership. I said, what the fuck? The Lamborghini dealership is like right next door. Maybachs, and we walk to the steakhouse, and they got Ferraris, Phantom, Bentleys, and I'm like, why? I said, man, I thought we were in Cambodia. He's like, yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, because the wealth gap was like this huge, like it is in Thailand. Super, super wealthy, you know, barely making it, a very small emerging middle class. Right, but they don't care. They don't put value in those type things.
Right.
Right, and like John just said, you come in your brand name shit, they're gonna think it's fake from the market anyway. Yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, all the shit that they wear is fake as hell. You know what I'm saying?
It's static.
Yeah, my man said he saw the stream, and the thing about it is, I talked to Zoom after that was over, and Zoom said he stayed on the phone with Magnesi for almost 30 minutes after he was over. And Magnesi was like, basically, how'd you like my performance?
Oh, Jesus.
It was more like a Charleston White type thing with him. That he knew what he was saying was BS. He said that brother was nothing on the phone the way that he was on that live. And then it made sense to me. Global, that's exactly because Richie Mack called me after it was over.
See, here's the thing. Like my channel, I'm not even up to 1,000 yet. All right. I don't care. I just put this stuff out. Hey, nice travel tips, things to help you with your travel. That's it. I'm not worried about monetization at this point. I'm not worried about any of this stuff, you know? It's fun to me, you know, putting this stuff out. You know, you guys learn something about traveling overseas, especially for guys that want to go overseas because, you know, the passport bros. You want to go over there for cheap? I'm going to show you how to do it for cheap. That's it. I'm just helping you guys out. That's all. You know, all these guys are so worried about being monetized and, well, yeah, if you're making a second stream, yeah, I can understand that. But all you guys are so worried about, you know, popularity and I got X amount of subscribers, you this and that. You just throw it in people's faces and stuff like that. No one cares at the end of the day. No one cares. And you're right, Rich Free, man. It's YouTube is the new Hollywood and people selling souls, man. That's what it is.
Thank you so much for the $2. You're right. It's and I also put a link in the chat to Andre's video, how to research the country you're going to. Definitely good info on that video. And you're right. The YouTube streets, right? The YouTube streets. You know, I don't even want to bring a name up, but this sister that has been going off calling women out that just showed her ass the other night. You know who I'm talking about, Global. You know, Melanie King.
Oh, okay.
Did you see her with MTR when she was drunk and, you know, you gonna kiss me? And
oh, yeah, I saw that one.
I got to watch watch it yet. I did not watch it yet, but go ahead. Yo, talk about it. Talk about it.
Bruh. I mean, because you know what, though? I sat there for a minute.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I sat there for a minute and I listened to what she was saying to other women about, you know, being 304s and all of this. And all of a sudden, I see her with the red Dixie cup. And we all know you only drink one thing out of a red Dixie cup. And then all of a sudden, hey, you gonna kiss me, NTR? Then she jumps up and starts dancing. And then she does that pathetic thing when she lets that dude Mike TV talk to her. I was almost sitting like, hold on. You have literally shot any credibility that you've had. You've accumulated. No, and I haven't watched the whole thing, Global. But from what I saw, it just didn't make sense to me.
You know she's not real about what she says. You know that, right? She's an what you call it? Not imposter, but whatever they call it.
Chameleon.
Chameleon, yeah, she's a chameleon. Everybody says. I stopped watching her a long time ago. When I found out she didn't go to Kevin Samuels' funeral, which is supposed to be her best friend, but she didn't go. So,
yeah, again, it's apparently you can make a lot of money off of YouTube. You can make a lot of money off of YouTube, and hopefully with this whole travel thing, because I'm doing some new stuff on the channel right now. Hopefully I can make some money, but I'm not looking for that type of fame. I'm not looking for that type of growth. I want to grow. I want to grow it my way, you know, so I'm not doing stuff like that. You know, I just teach you guys to travel, you know, how to do it cheaply and give you guys information on that. You know, I don't do lives because, you know, I don't do lives. You know, the only live I did was because there was an incident at a post office where Black females were giving this guy a hard time because he wanted to find out information about his passport. And they were pissed off because they figured him as a passport bro, but he actually worked for the Department of Homeland Security, and he needed his passport. He just trying to figure out how he can get, you know, track his passport application. And they was giving him a really hard time because he was a Black dude. And these were sisters, and you know, they were just making it hard, that type of deal. So a lot of guys got, you know, everybody thought going to the post office was the way to do it. So I did a live stream to show them another way how to do it. That's the only live stream I've ever done. I don't do live streams with, you know, interviews and stuff like that. You know, I usually just go post information. Now I'm doing YouTube shorts now, you know, just to give travel tips and stuff like that to help you guys out, you know. Things like that. But you know, a lot of these people take this newfound Hollywood fame off of YouTube and stuff like that, and they think they're the new superstars and stuff like that because they got all these subscribers and they're making money and this and that. They don't realize that all that stuff can be taken away like that.
I mean, to me, I've actually found that it's a lot more work. I'm still at the crossroads of how much work I'm willing to put into it. You know, I put Global Passport Crew and Rice Patty Reasons links to their channels in the chat, everybody. But I found there's a lot of work. I mean, I was sitting there watching whatever the lawyer is, TLA, you know, the brother from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. The lead attorney?
Yeah, the lead attorney. And I'm watching this brother. In 30 seconds, he must have made $500. There was like a $200 super chat. There was like another $199, and then there was like another $100. So you figure if you hitting over 100,000 subscribers, and you're able to hit that, you know, you can make some decent money. But it's just like, you know, shout out to the you know, Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling. He said, how many of y'all are actually paying your taxes on it the way you're supposed to?
There you go.
Now, see, that's going to be the flip side to it.
Yeah.
And here's another thing about that. Everybody's talking about, you know, Biden's, you know, want to get more IRS agents to go after the rich. And I'm sitting back here. It's like, that don't sound right. Sounds more like they're getting more IRS agents going after these social media people because they're becoming rich and they ain't paying their taxes. That's what it sounds like.
You know, somebody did an article on that, man. Somebody did an
LLCs, guys. Open an LLC.
Yeah, I mean, but see, a lot of these guys, you got guys out there that are strictly living off of it. People that are traveling and living off of it. I saw a guy today that I guess he was with Austin because Austin is in Tanzania now.
Mm-hmm.
But he was with Austin. He was like that chubby dude, Rilla,
Oh, Rilla,
whoever he
yeah.
was. And Rilla put out a video today where he was talking about he's going back to the Matrix because he's not making enough money off of his channel to fund his travel.
I spoke with Rilla. Yeah, he basically he told me basically it was gonna be for a short time. He was just gonna go there to see if he can do it. But basically he didn't get enough traction. So it was just a short thing that he was gonna do originally. So he was gonna go back anyway. So that was the original plan before he even left out the US. So
yeah, I mean, I just think, guys, I think that at the end of the day, the content is what's important, not the fluff. I'm retired. I got my I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody can get Rice Patty Reason, his info, and Rice Patty, you can share with them what we talked about. About creating the financial plan and helping these people create a financial plan since everybody's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reach out to him and he'll be the point guy that we can do it because I got to go try to put some little kids to sleep. They're down there tripping. So, hey, I want to thank all you guys for joining me. I'm going to try to do this every Sunday because let me tell you something. And I don't consider myself part of the Manosphere. And I don't mind taking women's input, but I will say this: it's something different when men get together and talk, where you can talk freely and open and honestly without having that influence, that feminine energy in the room. What's going on, Jeff from Brazil? What's up, Airborne? This is my Airborne brother down in Brazil. That's putting useless content, just a fun, useful information, more productive for your audience. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the content at the end of the day. So anybody got anything closing? Each one of you guys, Andre?
Yeah, my whole thing is we have to, as YouTubers, we have to keep putting out information that's going to help our people get out of the matrix. Give them information that they can actually use. Don't just do yacht parties and pool parties. Give them actual information that they can use. I'm going to continue to try, and I'm going to ask all you brothers out there that hear me or see me. I'm asking you brothers, if you got a YouTube channel, please do the same thing. Give them information. That's all I got to say.
All right. Global.
Y'all can just go on my page, just subscribe to my channel, and you'll see that information on traveling. I got new stuff coming out. All this you guys can apply if you want to go get out the matrix, if you want to go travel overseas for cheap, because traveling is expensive. I literally shaved off anywhere from $400 to $500 when I took my trip in December to Jordan. Literally. If you was make the comparison of what the average ticket price was and how much I saved, all that stuff, I shaved about $400, $500. Okay. You guys can do the same thing. But like I said, all that information is there. I can show you the tips and tricks that you can use to book your flights and all this other stuff, because a lot of you guys are making like some huge mistakes. Like that dude that went to DR that was begging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can tell you his whole travel arrangements, he made some huge mistakes just with booking the flight. He could have saved a lot more money. But like I said, when you start doing your travel arrangements, especially going to Thailand or Cambodia and stuff like that, those tickets are very, very expensive. And there's ways you can save a lot of money on that. But
yeah, I'm flying back the first week of May, but I'm going to stay through June simply because the month of June, those tickets doubled. Then I checked flying back July 4th. I just said, let me check July 4th, half the price. It's crazy. That 1 month, they double in price, and then July 1st, they drop to half the price.
Yeah, you got to learn how to play with those algorithms and stuff with those travel sites, man, because they'll flip. And there's ways you can beat that stuff so you can get very low prices. And even when you're traveling long distances, where you can hang out with different lounges and stuff and a whole bunch of other things, man. There's a lot of tips and tricks on my channel. So if you guys, please subscribe to the channel. A lot of tips over there, man. A lot of safety tips too.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Rice Patty.
Yeah. Oh well, Global. I've been binge watching your videos at work. Great information. Like the one about like the points and the flights and the difference between the points and the miles. Loved that one. Andre, it's great to meet you. I'm gonna sub your channel. And and watch your stuff, and Ed, you gotta swing through San Diego when you're back in the States. Right? If you can, we'll hang out. That'd be amazing. I think that we really need to be talking about solutions rather than talking about the problems. I mean, the problems are something that we need to be aware of, but it's all about finding solutions. This is where we go next, right? Like how do you get your money up? How do you make the deals so that you can have more money to spend on everything else? We have to provide solutions to the community. Global. If you get my email off of my channel, then contact me. Me and Ed are putting together something pretty special, and I'm trying to coordinate. And and I think that it's going to be pretty exciting. So I'd love to tell you about it.
Oh, cool, awesome.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah, I want to ask Rice Patty something before you go. You have a channel, sir?
I do. It's called Rice Patty Reasons. It's I provide solutions to the regular guy who's looking to travel overseas.
Yeah, I got to check out your channel then.
I mean, basically, I'm teaching guys how to get into the position where they can make money in their sleep. I learned how to do it, and I'm not an expert. I'm not a college graduate. I'm a damn cook, and I learned how to do it. Anybody can do it. All right.
I need to watch the channel so I can learn some of these tips, man. I really do.
Oh yeah, and if it hit me up, I'm happy to have a conversation with everybody. I mean, that's really what my channel is all about. Is it's less about trying to grow an audience. It's more about giving me an avenue to actually reach out to people. I think that the conversations that I've had with my subscribers are far more valuable than the information that I can relay in a video, since I usually have to keep it fairly short. And it can't be personalized. I mean, if I can talk with somebody, I can talk about their specific situations and provide solutions for them. Hey,
guys, here's Zero to Hero. Thanks a lot for the $5 super chat. But here's an opportunity. You got the right people here. He says, can I get each person minimum income required to move overseas? I want to move, but I'm waiting until I make $2,000 passive a month. Global, can you help him out first of all?
I would do
a very general question.
I would do 3 because you always want to have some type of a savings just in case of an emergency. 2 is basically average, kind of, sort of, because it depends on where you're at, depends on what country you're going to go, but you always want to have enough for savings just for emergencies, because you're going to have to deal with medical stuff, other issues that may come up. So I would go with 3,000 as a cap, and that's way above. But I think you need to talk to people like Ed and Andre, because they're overseas right now. They can give you a better estimate. But from what people have told me, 2 is good. I always go a little above. So 3 would be better.
Yeah, 3 that 3 is a good number. And also, if you find the right investments that you are allowed to reinvest and compound your money, then you're essentially giving yourself a pay raise every time that you reinvest. So it all starts with the budget. Never spend more than you make, and everything else you're putting away towards something that makes you more money. and that way your income is actually growing as you travel. But you got to stick to the budget. You can't wild out, right? No throwing money up in the air, right?
Yeah, right. I would say zero to here. First of all, it also depends on where you're moving, because that plays a lot into it. If you're Thailand, might be a little more than Cambodia, where if you move somewhere like Laos, it's probably going to be the cheapest, right? Right, Andre? Because they're
I'm not
even
sure about
cheaper.
Laos.
I don't know, but Laos is cheaper.
Yeah.
But again, the same budget, say of 2,000 here, might not be enough if you move to a certain part of the Philippines. You see what I'm saying? So if you narrow down where you're moving to, but I would say 3,000, just like Global said, a minimum of 3,000.
But if you go to these countries, you really don't have to spend $2,000 a month if you shop around, look around, and like Rice Patty said, stay in your budget. You could get my condo here. I pay like maybe $291 a month USD.
Yeah.
And if you just look around, and if you have, here's another thing guys got to do. You got to have contacts before you come to these countries. Somebody that lives in the country that could show you the ropes, because I wouldn't have found this condo if it wasn't for my girlfriend. And you guys, you got to realize when you come here and you got a contact, they could show you where you can go to get a nice condo on the cheap, where you can go get a lot of food for the cheap. Get yourself a contact. Just that's all they got to do, really, in some of these cases, because you're going to save a lot of money once you get that contact. Believe me, you will.
Consultations. If you don't know anybody in the country, Sayan Chan in Colombia, Richie Mack in Thailand, Ed out in Cambodia, there's all these guys that do these consultations. And if you don't know anybody out there, it's probably worth the money. Think of how much you can save. You save $100 a month. You know what I mean? You're gonna make back the cost of the consultation just from what you saved.
But you know something, Rice Patty? I got guys telling me on my channel that it's too expensive to do the consultation, so they don't want to do the consultation. So
that means that they can't afford to not do the consultation. Okay. Right. Well, here's the thing is that I told this guy, I was like, look, with your budget, first thing you got to do is just free up $100 a month. Okay. That's all you got to do. Just free up $100 a month, And he's just like, what if I don't have $100 a month? I was like, then you don't need a budget. You need Jesus, because, you might not be able to be helped at that point.
I would take the consultation and just have a list of questions ready, so you can just have those questions taken care of. Where the cheapest place to go, cheapest place to get condos, areas to live at, and stuff like that. Yeah, I got to be really, really prepared for all that stuff if you're gonna plan to make move. Cost of electricity, how to set that up, and all this other stuff. You got to make a list of that stuff for these consultations. I would rather pay the consultation fee. It's just maybe $100, maybe $150, depending on who you're going to. Get that all set up, so that way, if you're gonna make that jump, you're fine and dandy. If you go and make that jump, and you can be paying more than what you expect. So I don't know why everybody's crying about a consultation. Do it, get it over and done with, and
it's an investment. It's an investment, and knowledge is power.
Especially if you know the guys.
The thing is, the money that you would waste not taking, the mistakes that you would make not taking it, pays for that consultation and more.
Yeah, and like me, I've been on a lot of these lives. I've been with Ed. I've been with Andre from Love Crossing Borders. I've been on with Aaron from BMT Travels. I'll do a consultation with those guys because I know those guys. I'm comfortable with them. So if you start to get to know these guys and you feel comfortable with them, with the information they're throwing out and stuff like that, then book a consultation with them. You know, if you're not comfortable with just a stranger and stuff like that, that's understandable. But start to get to know these guys out there that's on these YouTube channels, and you feel comfortable, and you've been on their channels, and they recognize who you are and stuff like that. Then, you know, book a consultation with them.
I mean, I did a consultation with a guy. He was a vet, about to retire, moving over here. It was for an hour. We ended up talking for an hour and a half. And then he hit me up later after the consultation. Like, hey, man, I forgot to ask you a question. And I would say, hey, dog, yeah, here you go, man. It ain't like I'm going to charge you anymore. You know what I'm saying? But then that turned into a situation where he said, I want to fly and, you know, do my own recon. You know, I want to take a month out, fly to Cambodia. Will you meet me? Yeah, sure. And that turned into something else. Where it's like, I'll get the car, you know, I help you get a hotel, and, you know, you pay me for my time, but we can go to all the places that you want to go. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I feel it's well worth it. It's well worth it.
So you was his contact, basically, because you helped him out. You came over and you showed him around. So,
well, you know, this question, he said, it's that time says, would any of you pay $400 consultation for traveling to a new country? I mean, I would see it. Yeah, I would. You know, I would see it as an investment, because it's going to save me a ton of time and a lot of costly mistakes.
True.
I mean, you're going to spend more than $400 in mistakes when it comes to rent, or if it comes to visas, or, you know, if it comes to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, because that's very important, because you got visa companies that'll try to work you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, getting the right real estate agent, you know, all of that kind of stuff, especially if I've already done it and I've vetted these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would spend that, definitely. Definitely. Hey, but guys, I gotta go, man. I got babies crying downstairs and mama's gone.
Bye, brother.
But, hey, man, I love you guys for coming on. Make sure we get all the information to Rice Patty. I put the link to his channel here a couple of times. Andre, I'll be over as soon as I can, bro. I'm trying to make these VA appointments, so either heading out or coming back. I'm coming through Thailand. Global, I hit you up when I get to the States. I see you on my next live. Hey, Rubber Band Man, love you to pieces, bro. Kevin, be safe on the road. I hope you made it up to Michigan safe. Love you guys. And hey, nothing you can do about it, man. Let's get together soon, man. Y'all be safe.
All right, my brother.
All right,
gentlemen.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.